Hello, welcome back to Shock's Talks. I'm Shakti, and this is the Ren-Faire-Edition. This is a bonus episode. We're going off script. So, yesterday I was hanging out with a friend for her birthday, and she is a friend who constantly shops at the Goodwill. And she had a present for me, a pair of shoes that didn't fit her. And these are the boots that I received. And they're so witchy and cool that I decided to style an outfit around them because today I'm going to my very first ever Ren Fair. So let me put these on. I'll show you my outfit. One second. And while I was getting ready, the reason for this episode is because I was listening to a YouTube video of Tom Campbell answering a question. Sorry, you're going to hear my squeaky floorboards too. And Tom Campbell is the out-of-body scientist that I like to follow. Okay, let's see. It's not exactly a perfect themed costume, it's just my Ren Fair inspired look. But anyway, I was listening to Tom Campbell and he was answering some questions. And this guy was asking about, will there be a future where science is done via out of body? And what he meant is, will there be a future where enough people are good enough at querying the database of reality that we will be gathering our data from that source as opposed to through our scientific method? And Tom kind of went on a tangent and started talking about some things that relate to this, but not exactly answering the question. But in the end, what he was really saying is like, it's not about just getting data. When you go out into the larger consciousness system, whether it be through meditation or just toggling between realities or perhaps even a psychedelic experience, what people are doing is they're accessing various reality systems. The system that we exist within primarily as humans, the people that I'm talking to, mostly I'm assuming, we're here in physical matter reality. We're on the earth, we're in life, and there is a rule set that we may or may not fully understand, but we can basically get a lot about what that rule set is through our experience. So physics, like it can be proven, we can do tests, we can try things, and when things behave a certain way again and again and again, that gives us a really good amount of information. Now, there are anomalies within our system, and this is why the alien phenomena is so interesting, because many UFO researchers and people who go down this alien road end up coming to a different philosophy towards the end of their lives, and often this philosophy is very much in line with the Tom Campbell thinking and the nature of reality being just more and different than what we currently imagine. So when it comes to, sorry, Jet's having a little snort attack. Are you okay, Nuggie? You good? Okay. When it comes to toggling between realities, typically we are focused in this reality, sometimes through practices like meditation or an out-of-body practice or a spontaneous out-of-body experience. When these things occur, we enter into different reality frames. Within those reality frames, they can be dreamlike, they can be realer than real, high definition, fully fleshed out reality frames that we are experiencing within. Sometimes we change form when we change reality frames, or we go out of body in the sense that we no longer feel the constant data stream of our physical selves in the way that we typically do in regular reality. So what if aliens or UFOs coming into our reality are anomalous glitches in the very framework of reality itself? What if when we have an abduction experience or see something in the sky that's anomalous, what if that is our consciousness opening to more data or new data streams, and they're so foreign from what we typically process that we consider them to be these anomalies and we're trying to understand them from a very physical perspective, from Newtonian physics and physical matter reality. But what if they go beyond our current understanding of reality? I think that's a possibility. I think it's something that a lot of people in the UFO field have considered. It's tricky to pinpoint because there are instances of physical evidence. For example, if a craft lands in a forest and scientists go and study the site where the craft landed, they can find indentations in the ground. They can find measurements of levels of radiation. And same thing with abductees. You know, oftentimes people say, well, if alien abductions are all happening out of people's beds or, you know, in their dreams, why would we think that there's anything real going on here? It's just a dream, you know? Well, maybe it's both of those things in a way. Maybe there is a component that is consciousness based, where an abduction experience or a contact experience is really happening through consciousness, and maybe there's a layer of this that is permeating our physical matter reality. It seems to me it's probably both, but I mean, it's so fascinating because people usually split and go one way or the other. It's nuts and bolts or it's all mental, you know? And I think that what we're learning over time through all these various studies, and it all ties back into spirituality and mystery teachings or wisdom teachings or traditions that have been around forever. You know, a lot of people have come to the conclusion on their own, and this is something Tom was just saying in that video I was watching, but many people in the past, like Plato or the Buddha, have come to these conclusions on their own just by thinking about it. They have meditated or perhaps gone out of body, or maybe they just used their rational minds to think through things enough to where they got to a place that for them means that everything's an illusion, or it's the shadows on the cave wall, and there's more going on to this reality than we typically understand. So anyway, that was very rambling. I will have to rewatch this and see if there's any point in posting it. But I guess I just wanted to kind of go off script and share some thoughts that are swirling around in my mind. Because as I dig deeper and deeper into my research, I was reading Chosen last night by Yvonne Smith. And the abduction experiences do feel that they are crossing realities. Like maybe there is a physical science going on that's more advanced than us that does allow these beings to interact with humans in such a way that they can pull them up and through a wall. Maybe that is real. Maybe there's some particle phasing technology that we have yet to come across, or that we are like so far behind that we can't even possibly begin to understand right now. That seems possible to me. But also maybe things aren't as physical as we thought in the first place. So maybe our notions of this very hard and real reality are starting to change in a massive way. And that seems possible to me too. I think what it really comes down to is like, what's in front of me right now and what do I need to deal with today? You know, these thoughts can pull me out in a million directions. I think any of us can get lost when it comes to, you know, the UFO stuff or conspiracies or the occult or magic or spirituality or whatever you're into. It's like all of these paths pull us out into this place of like more and more questions. But what's nice to come back to is like, what is it really all about? What do I need to be doing right now? And for me, I love Tom Campbell's outlook on this. And so I think I tend to think in a similar way, which is like, I'm here to learn and grow. I'm here to evolve towards love. And it's not about figuring out everything and getting the answers to all the mysteries and having the final say and coming up with the best theory and proving it to the world. It's really just about our connections with each other and ourselves, and are we making real changes? And I think that the more we do that internal work and advance ourselves on an individual level, the more these anomalies might occur in our reality, because we are leveling up in our consciousness in such a way that allows us to perceive more, because we're not going to be distracted by it. We're not going to be pulled out to sea by it. We can handle it better, you know? So I think these things go together. I think that this research and study and exploration of anomalous phenomena and UFOs and aliens and other dimensional beings, people's psychedelic experiences, magic, all of the above. I think all of this ties back into personal growth and leveling up of our consciousness and our understanding of the nature of reality. So I'm going to continue to practice meditating in all the different ways that I can meditate, because there's so many different techniques and ways, and everyone has their own. But I think that's a key. I think that's a tried and true key that many people have found success with. So I think that's going to be an important lifelong ongoing practice. I'm going to continue to connect with my creative soul and allow my creativity to flow into the world and allow that to guide my choices, because that's just the way I am. And I'm going to focus on my relationships and how I'm showing up in the world and whether or not I can see progress in any area of my life where there's a relationship to another person. And then I'm going to do the research, and I'm going to keep reading and learning. And yes, I'm going to let my mind go all the way out to sea with all these crazy ideas, and then I'm going to reel it back in, ground it into the moment, and ask myself, is this information helping me grow in any way? Is it keeping me on my path, or is it a distraction? Am I getting lost in the weeds? This is like my way of navigating reality, because there's so much going on. There's so many layers. We all have so many tabs open, you know, and it's exciting and it's fun and we're voracious and we love it. But what are we coming back to? Okay, Renaissance Fair, off script edition complete. Thanks for listening.